Morning everyone. Today I'll be talking about classes and objects in Python, one of the most important concepts in programming, especially when learning object-oriented programming or OOP. By the end of this presentation, you'll understand what classes and objects are, how they work, and why they make your code more powerful and reusable. So what is object-oriented programming? OOP stands for Object-Oriented Programming. It's a way of structuring code around objects instead of just functions or procedures. Think of it like building with Lego blocks. Each piece or object has its own purpose and you can combine them in different ways to build something larger. In Python, OOP helps us write modular and reusable code that's easy to understand and maintain. It also makes it easier to map code to real world problems. Now let's talk about the core principles of OOP. OOP is based on four core principles: encapsulation, that is building data and methods together; abstraction, hiding complex details and showing only what's necessary; inheritance, reusing existing codes by creating new classes from old ones; polymorphism is using one interface for multiple data types. These four ideas form the foundation of how we design OOP systems. Now let's move to class. A class is simply a blueprint for creating objects. It defines the structure and behavior that the object will have. Imagine a cookie cutter. The cutter is in the class and the cookies you made with it are the objects. All cookies have the same shape but each one has its own unique instance. Now let's talk about class syntax and structure. Here is what a Python class looks like. And now let's break this code down. The class keyword declares the class. Int, the constructor that runs when we create an object. Self refers to the current instance. Attributes like name, age, and grade store data. And methods like introduce, define behavior. The power of self. The keyword self is very important in Python. It acts as a bridge between the class blueprint and the specific object created from it. Every time you call a method and an object, Python automatically pauses that object as self. While you could technically name it anything, using self is the convention. It keeps the code readable and standard for all Python developers creating and using objects. Once we have a class, we can create multiple objects from it. For example, student is equal to student Alice 1610 bracket close. Student 2 is equal to student open bracket Bob 159. Each student object is independent. We can call methods like Python student introduce bracket close and get output such as hi, I am Alice 16 years old. So one class can generate as many objects as we want. There is no limit. Attributes and methods. Let's look at how attributes and methods work together. Attributes are variables inside a class. They hold data like name, age, or grade. Methods are functions inside a class. They define what action objects can perform. Together, they keep related data and behavior organized in one place. This is what makes OOP so clean and efficient. Now let's talk about the real world applications. OOP is used everywhere in real world applications. Here are four examples. In games you might have player, enemy, and item classes. In e-commerce you will have product, cart, and user classes. And in banking you might use an account class to handle balances and transactions. Even social media apps rely on classes like post, comment, and user. So classes are not just theory, they are the backbone of modern software. Slide 10 is advantages of using classes. There are many advantages of using classes in Python. That is the code reusability, which is write once, use many lines, better organization, keep related data and functions together, easier maintenance, update the class and all objects are updated automatically. Real world modeling, OOP mirrors how we think about objects in real life. Scalability, you can easily build large system by combining small simple classes. Key takeaways and key. To wrap up, classes are blueprints that define structure and behavior. Objects are instances of those blueprints. Self allows method to access instant attributes, and int initializes new object with starting values. Thank you. That's all for my presentation.